a colony vanished without a trace. No bodies, no ruins. Just one word, CROATOAN. And to this day, no one truly knows what happened. The year was 1587. Over 100 English settlers arrived on a remote island off the coast of present-day North Carolina. This place would later be known as Roanoke Island. At that time, it was uncharted land, unknown, unstable, and full of uncertainty. But to England, it represented opportunity, a chance to build the first permanent colony in the New World. Not temporary exploration, but permanent settlement. Among the settlers were families, men, women, children, people who had left everything behind in search of survival and a future. At their head was John White, an artist, a cartographer, and the appointed governor of the colony. From the beginning, survival was not guaranteed. Food was limited, the land was unfamiliar, and conditions were unpredictable. Tensions with nearby native tribes slowly began to rise. Some encounters were peaceful, others were uncertain, but every single day required adaptation just to survive. The colony depended entirely on England for support. Without it, they would not last long. Only weeks after arriving, John White made a decision that would change everything. He returned to England, not to abandon the colony, but to save it. They needed supplies, tools, weapons, and reinforcements. At that moment, it seemed like a short journey. He believed he would return within months. He left behind his daughter, his granddaughter, and the entire settlement, trusting everything would remain stable until his return. But history was already shifting beyond his control. England was on the verge of war with Spain. The Spanish Armada was preparing to attack. The entire nation shifted focus to survival. Ships were redirected, supplies were restricted, and overseas travel became extremely difficult. What was meant to be a short absence became silence. Months turned into years, and Roanoke was left alone. No communication, no updates, no help. 3 full years passed before John White could finally return. In 1590, he arrived back at Roanoke Island. The moment he stepped ashore, something felt wrong. There was no movement, no sound, no sign of life, only silence. As he moved deeper into the settlement, reality became clear. The colony was gone, completely gone. No people, no animals, no activity. But what made it even more disturbing was what was missing. There were no signs of battle, no burned homes, no destroyed structures, no scattered belongings, instead something unusual. The houses had been carefully dismantled, not destroyed, but taken apart, deliberately, as if the entire colony had packed up and left in an organized way. But where could over 100 people disappear to without leaving a trace? John White searched everywhere. He called out for his daughter, for his granddaughter, for every settler in the colony, but no one answered. No voices returned, only emptiness. Then he noticed something. Near the settlement, carved into a wooden post, was a single word, CROATOAN. Nearby, the letters CRO were carved into a tree. This was not random. Before leaving for England, John White had established a code. If the settlers were forced to leave, they would leave a message indicating their destination. If they were in danger, they would carve a cross nearby. But there was no cross, only CROATOAN. This detail changed everything. It suggested the settlers were not destroyed. They may have left intentionally or been forced to relocate under unknown circumstances. And so, the mystery began. One of the most widely accepted theories suggests the settlers joined a nearby native group known as the CROATOAN people. The name matches the carved message. Historical records suggest limited, but real interaction between settlers and native tribes in the region. Some researchers believe survival through integration was possible. If true, the settlers may have blended into another community and lost their distinct identity over time. Another theory suggests something more desperate. With no supplies arriving from England, survival on Roanoke Island may have become impossible. The settlers may have abandoned the island entirely, moving inland in search of food and safety. They may have split into smaller groups, trying to survive harsh conditions, but no confirmed remains have ever been found. A third theory suggests conflict, that they may have been attacked by hostile groups in the region. But this theory has a major flaw. There is no physical evidence. No bodies were discovered. No weapons were left behind. No burned settlement was found. Everything appears too clean, too organized, too intentional. A more modern interpretation suggests something slower, that the colony did not disappear in a single moment. Instead, it may have gradually broken apart over time. Some settlers may have joined native communities. Some may have migrated inland. Some may have died due to natural causes. And others may have simply vanished into undocumented history. Over time, identity would dissolve, records would disappear, and memory would fade. Archaeological research continues, even today. Excavations in nearby regions have uncovered artifacts suggesting possible movement of settlers, but nothing has ever been confirmed. No direct link has been proven. The mystery remains unresolved. What makes Roanoke so powerful is not just the disappearance itself, but the complete absence of answers. No confirmed remains, no written records after disappearance, no survivor testimony, no explanation, only silence. And one carved word, CROATOAN. 400 years have passed. Empires have risen and fallen. Technology has advanced beyond imagination. And history has been mapped in detail. Yet Roanoke remains unsolved. A colony built on hope, lost without explanation, leaving behind only one question. What really happened at Roanoke?